Now back to story structure. I'm going to go through some of the beat points with you, and I'm going to bring out how stories have the same patterns from Beowulf to Spider-Man. Everyone knows about the climax. We all know about that. But actually, every story has 15 to 20 of the same beat points. Now, this is mostly using the save the cat method, but I'm also going to show some hero's journey as well, and we will talk about both of those story structures. Now, first and foremost, every story has one theme. That is that the lesson that the protagonist accepts or rejects. Now, there will be other themes within the story, but every story has one primary theme. And it is not always what the author thinks. I will go into each of these, but here is just a quick overview of the beat points. In Act 1, you have just a snapshot where you show your reader who your character is, what they like to do, but specifically what lesson they have to learn, and that will be shown when they reject the theme. And then there will be this setup period that leads up to the catalyst or the inciting incident that thrusts them out of Act 1 and on to starting their emotional or physical journey. Sometimes there's a debate before Act 2, sometimes there's not. Now, Act 2 starts about 20% in, and this has a fun and games section, which may not be fun and may not seem like a game, but that leads up to the 50% turning point, where the character starts to actually accept the truth that they rejected back in the first scene or two. Now, Act 3, you have a bad guys close in, where things get pretty tense right before you have a plot twist and a dark night of the soul, which is kind of this reflection time before they pull their act together and they finally face their need at the climax. And the way they do that is by having learned the theme. And finally, you have a final scene or two that shows that the character has really gotten it and they are changed for the better after their spiritual, emotional, and sometimes physical journey, which was the book. Scene 1. I want to show you my character, not just tell you that my character is exciting and relatable. I want to show you. Tiffany Thompson is in a tree outside her attic bedroom window, and her mom thinks that she's in her messy bedroom cleaning. Now, I'm showing you Tiffany. I'm not telling you. You learn from this snapshot that Tiffany is adventurous and brave. She is not afraid to climb out of a third-story window. You also realize that Tiffany is disobedient. And I have to show you in this scene that something is not quite right. Something must be learned. There must be a theme rejected. Now, you are also getting a glimpse into your character's world. Tiffany has a mother who keeps order, and Tiffany, not so much. So describe your hero in 3 words. 2 words that are good or neutral, and 1 that could be an area that they need to work on. Mary Lennox is plain, sickly, and bitter. Luke Skywalker is hardworking, adventurous, and untried. Queen Elsa is lonely, disciplined, and afraid. So here is my character. Sam is smart, imaginative, and cocky. Now, this 3rd trait is important because it tells you the lesson that the character needs to learn. What does Sam need to learn? He is cocky. He is like many 12-year-old boys where he thinks that he can do it on their own. So what kind of scene am I going to drop Sam into to show that he's smart, imaginative, and cocky? Maybe I'll show him being smart and imaginatively ticking off an 8th grade bully at school by his cocky mouth and attitude. Now, this is a coming of age arc. The kid thinks he doesn't need anyone else, but he has to learn that he can't do it himself. And he has to accept help and work as a team. So the theme is he needs help from his team. Sam plus his team equals Happy Sam. Now, Sam believes a lie. He thinks he can take care of this on his own. Now, this is also called the want. Every protagonist has a lie they believe, and it usually shows up in this want that they pursue while rejecting their need. In a positive character arc, they will recognize the lie around halfway through and start to pursue the need, finally attaining the need or the truth and defeating the lie that initially drove them. Now, a negative character arc is where they actually will embrace and give in to the lie. In The Godfather, one of the best negative character arcs, it's about a mafia family, and yet it correctly shows how sins visit our children's children. The lie that the main hero believes is that crime will save his family, when each movie shows that crime slowly destroys both him and his family. Also, there's an overarching arc over the entire trilogy. When you have a series, you have an arc over the whole series, as well as an arc for each book. Now, you may be thinking that you are not writing a moral story like that. This is not a Sunday school lesson. You're wrong. Every story has a lie the character believes. And that is why, as we learn the beat points and story structure, we can better understand and convey truth. So, I'm going to break down a well-known story into the beat points. Meet Aladdin. Here are Aladdin's 3 adjectives. He is smart. He is outsmarting all the guards. He is generous. We watch him literally jump over buildings to get this piece of bread and then give it to a couple little children. And he is a thief. Now, this actually shows the lie that Aladdin believes, where he thinks he needs to grasp for something that he is not in order to find happiness. And we know that this is foreshadowing for what he's going to do later when he pretends to be a prince, grasping for a position that's not his. Now, in the opening scene of Aladdin, we also see a snapshot of his world. Everyone is calling him a street rat and riffraff. His world is against him. And it confirms the lie that he believes, that he needs to grasp for things that are not his in order to push himself forward. Now, around the 5%, Aladdin rejects the theme. He rejects that life is enough without money and position. He feels like he has to steal it. He can't earn it, and his life is not enough without it. So if you have a story, think of 3 adjectives to describe your character. Now, next you have your setup. And in Aladdin, he meets Jasmine, and this further confirms the lie to him. He can't have her unless he grasps at a position that is not his. So what you're doing here in the setup is you are lining up your protagonist's pursuit of their lie. They are going to start on their emotional or spiritual or physical journey because of the pursuit of the lie, not because of the pursuit of the truth. And they are going to have a very specific goal, but it is going to be rooted in the lie that they think will solve their problems. Now, during this time, they are also starting to build up their allies. Aladdin already has a boo, but he's now met Jasmine, and soon he is going to meet Genie. And these Act 2 characters will play a role in his transformation. But right now, he's just busy pursuing his goals.